Hi YouTube and TikTok, this is BB and this is a continuation part 2 of my watch later list, which has 1,296 videos, and this is just kind of a continuation. I have Conjoined Twins documentary, Going to School in 1977, Phases of a 2010s Internet Kid, Colorism, Why Proud Family Reboot Sucks. Now, I've watched a couple of different versions of these kind of video essays about Proud Family culture, wars from Dream Sounds. I've seen them before, and it makes sense. The original Proud Family was iconic. The second reboot of the Proud Family was garbage, and it did not need to happen. That is my personal opinion, because I was the target audience age for the Proud Family when it was on TV back in the early 2000s, like 2002, 2003, 2004. I was 12 to 14 and a half when Proud Family was originally on Disney Channel. Guess what? It was genius. It was iconic. It was ideal. It was relatable. It was something I could connect with. It came on when I was in fucking 5th grade. It was genius. And the Gross Sisters? I knew 3 girls who were the Gross Sisters in real life. It was almost. And then the whole clique of Penny and La Cienega and Zoe and Dejanay, I knew a clique exactly like that in real life, all in 5th grade, and then continuously into 6th grade and 7th grade, and then maybe once in high school. But it was like a spitting image. And it was great, but for a show, but I didn't like how it related to my life because I was like, this is too uncanny for me, way too close to home. But at the same time, I still loved it. And so there's Dr. Mama Jones again. She's awesome. She is pro-life and pro-uterus and pro-uterus health and pro-women's health and pro-women's rights. And she is an OBGYN with like 2 million subscribers on YouTube and just as many followers on TikTok. She is amazing. She is amazing. Sometimes her videos are just so happy and cheerful, and they make me a little bit teary in the eyes. Sometimes she does these reaction videos with the mini screen at the bottom of her video screen with like her watching sex education VHS tapes from the 80s and 90s. Just to react to them because she's an OBGYN and she wants to react to the way that sex education, health education, reproductive rights, and reproductive health were taught to school kids back in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, and her reactions are hilarious. You have to watch her. Dr. Mama Jones, shout out to her. Shout out also to Calamari Studios that does, they did a lot of like interviews, kind of like at CNBC had Lockup back in the day in the late 2000s, and Calamari Studios did a similar one of youth in county jails in like Wisconsin and Minnesota and Florida and at Pendleton in Indiana, which is like a maximum security prison for youth juvenile offenders and criminals. And they did all these interviews, but they couldn't really put their footage on the internet at the time because they were still considered minors. And now that, 15 years has passed on, they've been putting these videos up on YouTube for like the past 3.5 years. And it's just very unique and tear-jerking and emotionally charged video footage of real kids and teenagers and young adults from like 11-year-olds up to 18-year-olds in jails for crimes they committed that seem ridiculous and heinous and barbaric because they went to a primitive state of mind to harm people or hurt people or do dangerous, scary things. And the aftermath that this Calamari Studios does is they show like where they are now, and oftentimes they end up being returned to jail, prison, having multiple arrest records, throughout their 20s and 30s, or they're dead, or they can't be tracked, or they've disappeared off the grid. So anyways, more videos. Ranking all of Disney's direct-to-video sequels. Gotta love those videos, but they're really long, like an hour and a half long. Like Doug from the Critic, he did those. He does that every Christmas. Why kids are breaking up with their parents. A video about child emancipation. The Price She Paid. Oh, another made-for-TV movie that somehow did not make the made-for-TV movie playlist. How MTV went from cool to irrelevant. That is so true. Fuck you, MTV, for getting rid of TRL. Carson Daly and Quasim, they needed that job. Uptown Girls is an underrated masterpiece in healing yourself. Your inner beauty or something. Every episode of Malcolm in the Middle ranked 4.5 hours. 5 ways to do homeschooling wrong. I agree with that. Exploring Abandoned High School, Tom Brown's School Days, Exploring Abandoned Buildings in North Dakota, Memoria Press, there's a homeschool curriculum. Boomer tries to name all of the Pokemon. I think I watched a clip of that on TikTok, and it was just fucking amazing. I loved it. I was guffawing, laughing, cackling, chuckling. Oh my god, it was fabulous. And then we have the Christian music problem. That's true. Log homes, the 1800s. Log homes, the 1900s. My battery is low. I am that kid. I don't know what that means. The truth about chain thrift stores. Houston schools. Segregation. Sean's return. Reaction to Degrassi. Season 6. Giving scammers their own information. Scammer payback. Tourette syndrome, the man behind the name. What is... Oh, some Welsh preschool program in the UK. Dysfunctionally Wonderful, a Proud Family retrospective. Toxic victimhood. Pureflix Christian romance. Seattle Mariners versus New York, 85. Classic TV themes. What did we learn from Disney's Brink? DCOM's my favorite thing. The real reason girls don't wear Justice clothing anymore. Now, I've watched that one like 20 times, and that's like a permanent fixture on my watch later list. TV crossovers, Steve Urkel and Full House, and everything else. Differences between Norwegian, Swedish, and Danish Vikings. Dinosaurs, a sitcom before time, an hour long. What did we learn from the next Karate Kid? High school campus tour. Mulan 2 is a lot. Opening to Grizzly Falls. Reacting to old PSAs. A Strange Affair, another movie that didn't make the movie list. Discovering autism. Recovering from autism. I don't believe in that. You cannot recover from autism, but you can progress to make better quality of life for yourself or for your kids who have autism. That's for another video. And approaching the 10-minute mark here pretty soon, we have thousands of students tripped up on tech troubles from the COVID, online schooling epidemic, more movies, Kid Nation interviews from the original kids of CBS's terrible reality show, Kid Nation, in 2007. Monkeys Swarm takes over city, American mythology, The Simpsons. More movies that didn't make the list. Animals in the Womb. Jonas Brothers Tiny Desk Concert. Computers, Tools for People from the 1980s. Destructive David, 1980s VHS. Disproportionate number of black kids in foster care. I can't disagree with that. The Geography of Pets. Learning to Drive with ADHD. Angela Anaconda. The Princess Diaries 2, a real pain in my ass. These are the types of videos on my watch later list. What's on your watch later list? Share it in the comments. Talk to you later. Bye.